No offsides, no offsides. Welcome to no
Welcome
offsides.
back, Durham Inline fans, to No Offsides.
Oh yeah.
We had a good week this week. We're going to go over some pretty wicked details, some pretty wicked games. I know you missed it, but
Yeah. wasn't feeling too hot, but also
I'm smart enough for the both of us.
got to meet my nephew, which was pretty cool.
Amazing. Circle of life.
Yeah,
Been
it's
playing
good being
here
an uncle.
18 years.
Some other fun stuff that some guys know, some don't.
Good
We don't
stuff.
have to talk about what I was doing, but I couldn't make it, and I feel bad. That was my first game I ever missed. in my entire
Family
career, so-
first.
Yeah.
Durham Inline always comes second.
But,
Anyway, you
speaking of
missed a
that,
good
yeah.
week though.
Yeah, I was like, let's get into it.
With puck, we had Team Black and Team White. Two teams are going for this best of 7 series.
Even up now.
Team Black tied it up at 1-1. It was a pretty good game. But the best part for me, two emergency like Zamboni drivers had to come play net. We had Landry versus Brindley, which
Couple
made
David Ayers.
it made for a wicked puck game. Two solid goalies.
Yeah.
They both played outstanding, just outstanding. It was crazy.
Well, it's funny I made that David Ayers comment, but they're not David Ayers level of caliber. Like they're tier 1 ball players.
Tier 1
Which
ball
is funny.
goalies.
They're not puck goalies, but tier 1 ball is, if you have the stature of maybe puck, they're pretty neck and neck, like in some capacity, right?
It's just
So-
a different game.
Oh yeah.
You know. So speaking of the ball goalies, we'll jump
Yeah.
right into the tier 2 ball.
Let's get into it.
I was pretty close in the Bunnies game at last week's. I said 13-4.
Yeah, that was my first ever.
And I got
Bunnies game
chirped
missed,
by
so-
a few bunnies on the bench.
Good.
13-4, 13-4, and 12-4.
Well.
12-4. You could have proved me wrong or something, boys.
I think I was sitting on my dad's couch and I was looking. I was like 10.
Keeping up with the
10-2. I was
stats on the
Oh,
live
I gotta
stats.
check. I was looking. I was keeping up with the whole game because we got our wonderful website there that we can do our live games.
The
and
Bunnies
check out
played
the
a good
scores,
team. They played the Mutts. They played a
Yeah,
good
they're
team.
alright. They're solid.
They're all right. Little Stevie played a hell of a game. He played on the back
So.
end.
Heard he got a couple assists, more than a couple.
4 assists, which is like, that's not Stevie. Usually it's
Sure,
4
Dennis
goals
wasn't wearing
to
his
1
jersey?
assist.
And he cut down a couple pounds.
Stevie played
Yeah.
good, played a good defensive game, but the best part, I watched Coop get a
Yeah.
body.
That put a smile on my face.
1, 2, 3.
Sadly, it was
Put a
against
smile
my
on
team,
his
but
face.
yeah.
Holy shit, he was.
Well, I've been trying to get him going the past couple weeks. I've been sitting on the bench and I watched him. Even last game was a lot better.
Coop had a lot of fun last week.
Yeah.
It showed. I'm glad for you. It was.
Yeah.
And Sean also put up some numbers
Yeah.
too.
Baldy.
Yeah, well, 3 goals, 2 assists. So
Yeah, he's on a couple of our underrated players there.
it's nice to see. Yeah, it's nice to see some of the guys that,
Yeah.
they're in their way on this week though.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to you, boys.
No Schwampton this week. We don't need to talk about that guy.
No, he tones it down,
He'll come up eventually.
which is fair,
Put
you
it on
know.
the list.
But
Yeah.
the Bunnies, they shit the bed.
Yeah. From what I saw, I think we got the first goal. Is that if I'm
That's
not
hard for me
mistaken?
to remember, but actually, yeah, you're right. Michelle tucked one in.
Yeah,
through
that's what I
Legion.
saw from.
Yeah, no, Michelle. I think Michelle had 2. The stats got a little screwed up, I think, because
Yeah, it's tough.
the stats online said that Keenan scored, but I'm not sure Keenan got one. I think Troy might have got 2, and Michelle got 2.
Well,
Correct me if I'm wrong on the bench,
Yeah.
boys, but
on paper, he's good fellow anyways. So our Bunnies jerseys are a little bit mixed up in general anyways.
the same
It's
group
confusing,
played
so.
good for the Bunnies.
Yeah.
The rest need to step up. I'll see you next
Yeah.
year or something, boys. Hopefully, we'll see what's happening. But yeah, 12-4, Mighty Mutts over the Bunnies. I see the Mutts going pretty far. I see the Bunnies just
Staying under
hopping
the couch.
along until the end of the year.
The Dust Bunnies are staying under the couch for
Yeah,
a bit, but
true enough.
we gotta
The other one was the Stallions and the Warriors. I can't remember,
good
but
matchup.
I think I predicted the Warriors in a 1-goal game. But I think this one too
Yeah.
was 2 emergency call-up goalies. One of them was such a call-up. He used to be their goalie, I think, like 14 years ago. He still had their jersey that barely fit. But Sid Davis played a solid game for the Stallions. And he played our old buddy Steve Thomas.
I mean, I love Sid Davis, but please show me a jersey that he can put on fully without his chest protector hanging out. But I think that's what he likes. I think he just crops the little bit of the bottom anyways. But
he's a tease.
I love you, Sid.
He's a tease.
Well, yeah. I'm sure if you want, he'd show it all anyway. So
no doubt.
He seems pretty easy. So.
Sid's been around for a while. He's one of the OGs.
Oh yeah.
So big shout out to Sid.
Yeah, my first goalie I ever had.
Yeah. Well, Sid's played on every team for everybody, filled in for everybody.
Gets around.
You need a goalie, give Sid a call because he's probably gonna make time for you.
Who's this other guy? I don't know if I remember him.
Steve Thomas used to be the
that guy.
Nachos goalie. Came out this week and
were those bright green? What color would you say for those jerseys?
Like bile barf.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe vomit or mucus.
They were. People think that this thing's bright, but they were a little brighter than that. But yeah, Stevie Thomas came out. He played a pretty good game, other than his one blunder. I told him, but I told him too that it was making the show, and thanks for the content because he made Vesatoskala look good. Dan Kluche looked good. This was a rotten goal, but he followed it up with some pretty acrobatic goaltending. I'm telling you, he made one big starfish save that I can almost vividly remember. Big save, but just not enough as the Stallions took the Warriors 8-6. It was.
Yeah, I wasn't there, but I can just talk to that about having two different goalies that don't play. That changes it up a bit, right?
It does, and I think maybe having Sid there, being familiar with basically everybody, kind of helped. But you could see too the experience from the Stallions. Cascanet had 5 goals, eh?
I think at the end of the day, I think that's what it comes down to. And I've been saying this all year, and I will tell it to his face. Look what happens when he shows up.
Cascanet?
When Cascanet is on the floor for the Stallions.
Well, he's the captain of the team. He's the leader of the team.
Oh, yeah.
He gets things done. Right?
Busy guy, though.
There's just, like I said, there's just such an experience factor to the Stallions. They're probably the oldest team in the league on average.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like
they're all about my age,
my pops might be
which
the
is
same
awesome.
age as the average age there,
but yeah, it was a good game, and the Warriors didn't play bad at all. Mancera had another good game, a couple goals.
Was everyone there back for the Warriors, or they're still missing a couple?
Yeah, no, Muse was there.
Was Mickey there?
No, Bosco was still away. That's a lot of offense. Now
Yeah.
you mention that.
Yeah.
That seems to. But I mean, not having Jurgen in net.
Yeah.
The Warriors.
He's been so solid. Been such a good goaltender.
Definitely a difference because.
One of the 3 goaltenders that have kicked my ass.
I mean, to me, it's fairly obvious how Tier 2 is going to stack up. Like, what are we? We're 7 weeks into the 10-week regular season.
Get into our little power ranking of sorts, or maybe what do we got here?
I don't even need to look at it.
Mutts, the leaders right now.
Well, they're the strongest team.
Most goals.
I think they scored like, what is it, 60 something?
Well, let me pull out the notes because I actually have that for us. So
there you go. Yeah, they got a pretty offensive club. So much so that
63 goals.
63 goals.
And I think
games.
Steven Goodfellow has.
Not sure how many against.
62.
It's a bit of a hard stat to keep their goals against, but yeah, I know Leach is.
We don't have to worry about goals. We don't count goals against.
If you keep it under like 4 goals a game in roller hockey, that's a.
I think if we kept that stat, I don't think we would have any goalies left in this league.
Yeah, well, I know it's probably run a few of them away anyhow. But the Mutts are what, 6-1?
Yeah, 6-1.
Who did they lose to? The Stallions or the Warriors? Not sure. I'll have to go back.
I think it was the Stallions, because when the season first started, the Stallions I think were like 3-0, and they were buzzing, and I think the Mutts were the only team that.
And what do we got there? The Mutts are 6-1.
Yeah, Stallions are 5-2, which is still.
And
really
the Warriors are
3-4, surprisingly, but I think just those two top teams they're just friggin' good.
So we can put money down, like we're putting lines on now.
Yeah.
Talk to Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle will
get
line
our-
up our
We'll get our gamble guy out
system.
there. Yeah. But like that, I don't think that record shows.
What for the Warriors?
No, not
3
at all.
and 4. No,
They're not a 3 and 4.
I think
team.
their 3 and 4 record attests to how strong the Stallions and the Mutts are.
Yeah.
My opinion, because I think the Warriors are a damn good team. I think the
Absolutely.
Bunnies,
So
we
is the
don't
Warriors.
even need to mention. They're unfortunately pointless this year, but
I'm not even gonna say how many losses we have. Let's just talk about the other column. 0 wins.
they're pointless.
We haven't even tied. we haven't gotten a point.
So I'm looking at. I don't want to say it now. We got a couple weeks to go, and anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
That's why we play the game.
You know what? I sent a message to the boys in the chat. I'll give you a little preview, and I said we only need to win 2 games when it's all said and done.
In reality,
Semifinals and finals.
it's a good way to look at it.
So,
watch out.
If we go 0-10 and win the
Watch out,
last
Mutts.
2, yeah,
If you see the Bunnies in the first round,
we're coming for you. And speaking of that,
Bowman comes off the IR.
let's not get too crazy
no.
here, old man.
Kidding,
All right,
I'm kidding.
all right, Bo. I think what we can do. We just talked about our standings a little bit. Let's give our player standings. Top
What do you
4.
got for me? What do you got?
Stevie.
What do you got for them?
Stevie, not the same guy twice. 2 separate guys, the same name.
Well, obviously you got a 1-2 Mutts.
Yeah.
In the points.
It's funny. Steve Thomas is second with 25 points. Not sure how, again, as accurate as we can be.
It's
But
probably pretty close.
with
anyway.
he's second to Stevie, who has 24 goals. So just take that into consideration there, Stevie.
I am willing to bet you he doesn't have as many assists as he does goals. At least not in tier 2.
Well, it's just funny we see Stevie with 17 assists. That's
That's all right.
more
That's
than
all right.
more than Schwampy here, but you know,
So little Stevie,
yeah,
he's got 24 goals.
Yeah.
17 apples.
Yeah.
41 points. 7 games. Second place, you got Stevie Thomas. We call him Schwampton. 12 goals, 13 assists for 25 points. This is where we get real. This is where these are my guys here. Casper Titus,
yeah.
holding it down in third place, 13 goals, 10 assists, 23 points. This is one of your this is one of your favorite guys
He is
coming
honestly.
in. We'll all say it's
Yeah.
third because Stevie doesn't count.
Yeah, no, honestly, like these, I would say these 2, besides Bunnies players, are probably my favorite 2 players in tier 2,
There you go.
and that's on and off the ice,
Just solid guys.
or whatever you want to call it, court, whatever.
Every single one of you guys.
I think it was even Casper was giving me that dart talk when I was hacking up a lung. Oh, have a smoke, it'll clear you up. So thanks for that. It kind of worked, but
Casper Titus.
I'll ask you for hockey tips before I ask you for sick tips there first, buddy, and maybe on how to work the GoPro too. But Cody Bowman,
He's carried it over.
I gotta say, if you should be a bit nervous there, Bowman, because I think I got another Bowman in my heart now.
He's the new number 1.
I don't know. Hey, we have history.
He spells it differently.
We have a lot of history. So yeah, maybe my favorite Bowman with a U in it.
There you go.
I know his brother's pretty damn good too.
I know, right? They
Yeah, I
both
like his
got good
brother.
shots.
11 goals, 6 assists, 17 points. Like these guys are all.
So let's hear from you guys how
Just
you
laying
think
it
it's
up,
going to
yeah.
stack up the rest of the way. Let's hear your finals predictions.
If you want to be there, show up,
Show up.
get the points, get in there. I mean, I still have time to bury 11 goals.
You got 3 games left.
Hey,
3 games.
weirder things have happened. I think when Hogle was there, I had a 6-goal game, but he's not here this season, so we don't have to
Goaltending
get
sure
into
has
that.
changed this season, right?
Oh yeah,
Tier 2, that's for
Hey,
sure.
I-
But it's made for good hockey.
I would
you know.
never go in that. So
I'm happy to watch it. I'm enjoying it.
absolutely,
So let's just motor right along to the Tier 1 division.
Tier 1.
And I know you missed it again, but
Yeah,
this game was a little tighter than I
higher scoring game than
First
I think you thought,
anticipated.
at least for one side of the.
I might have
team.
said
One-
like 8-2 or 9-2 or something along those
Amigos,
lines, but
baby.
it was 8-5
Yeah.
Assassins over the Amigos.
Yeah.
But the Amigos every week, man,
Yeah,
taking the steps, right? They're
they did something the Bunnies couldn't do, and that's get a point.
well, no, they. I
Last-
actually looked
last-
at
I
the
think it was
stats.
last
They
year,
got
yeah.
2 ties.
Was it 2?
Yeah,
No, okay. Yeah, I
yeah.
gotta check the notes again, I guess.
Yeah, but
Not doing my job,
it's
but-
similar for them. That Brendan Loken.
Well, what was that other stat here?
showed
Now
up
we got the
again.
goals again. It's funny, 18 goals, but I don't think that does them justice. And I think it might have been their first couple of games they started that or held them back off of that stat at least.
What I heard from a smart younger fella at one point in my life. He
Was it
said,
me?
"You really only have to win 2 games." So Amigos,
I
if
haven't
you're
heard that one.
listening,
Yeah, I haven't heard that one.
don't worry. You
Must
only
be a
gotta win
genius.
2 games, and the way you guys are going, getting better and better.
Only 2 games, that's all you need.
That's all you need.
I think last year it was like 5 or 6 million games. but
They got the
I don't even
goaltending to
remember.
do it.
Yeah.
They got Brindley, but the Assassins played good.
Hey, Brindley's a puck goalie now too, so watch out, Tier 1.
I think I remember last week you chirped Sebi. I might have chirped him too to tone it down, but what a game by him.
Yeah, I noticed that. I wouldn't say much at Stirp. I think he's a lesser known Tier 1 player, and from our game on the bench, I know he was getting heck from a couple of those players when I was doing
Heck.
one of our filming. Oh, he was getting some heck thrown his way. So
Well,
he was getting in their heads.
he showed
But
up.
now he's getting on the sheets and in their heads. So
He showed up.
Yeah.
Now he's in the podcast for an even better reason. 2
Yeah, he
goals,
can,
2
yeah.
assists. But him and Leach figured it out. Because Leacher had 3 himself, 3
oh,
goals.
are we talking about Leach again in Tier 1? I missed talking about Leach in Tier 1.
He was
getting
like
that.
he was back.
I think he was crying a little bit because we weren't talking about him enough in Tier 1 and we were giving him the gears, but
His Sundays are pretty busy.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
stuff with, again, with the him and a home with their kids, it's like
He's
enough
literally
for a hockey team.
literally
so.
in every division we're
Yeah.
playing. Every division.
Yeah.
He plays puck. He plays Tier 2 and net.
I wish
he
I
plays
could do
Tier
that.
1 out. I know.
Yeah.
It's gonna catch
I
up
know.
with you, boy.
Probably
it's gonna
different,
catch up with you.
different
Yeah,
position
yeah.
in every league too, probably, right?
For Hardy, that's trying to. Yeah, that's a different role maybe, but.
Wait,
Uh,
wait till you two hit 40, and you guys are
But the
you guys are done.
just looking at the Assassins though, like
Oh, yeah.
when I was watching that game,
So
and
deep.
that's the
Deep,
thing is
deep.
every single guy gets points. I think Joey Day was the only one this week that didn't get a point, but that's okay because Joey had the big game winner last week. So his defensive prowess, he can go 1 week where he's the offensive defenseman.
No, absolutely. And
Next
Joey-
week he's blocking
I was
shots.
gonna say Joey Day is one of those guys, like, you don't always have to talk about him, but you know he's there.
Right.
He always makes a difference.
Always, whether it's on the sheet or
Former
not.
Bunny from our first season, played with him a bit.
Just
Well,
a fun guy to be
obviously
around.
I've known Joey a bit now too. Yeah,
fun,
exactly.
fun guy
Good-
to be
good fella.
around. If you don't laugh when Joey Day's around, there's something wrong with you. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, that was the Assassins over the Amigos, 8-5. Eric Henry played good enough to win.
How were the goalies at that game? Where I know
Brindley's
we talked
always
about Brindley and stuff,
always
but
good, and if I do remember correctly, I think Brindley was a
Henry-
little more overworked than
Henry was still in there. Yeah,
But
he was in.
He wins. I don't care if you
Yeah.
let in 19, as long as you win 20-19. Henry got another win,
Exactly.
right?
That's what I was saying. As I said before, we don't keep that goals against average goalies, so
Just the wins.
just help your team get that W. I think we had that a couple times last season for the Bunnies. I don't think we cared at some points of how many we let in, just because of how many we were putting out there. So,
Well, that's the thing.
which maybe we should have at times helped out poor Wally King
Score
there.
more than the other team, you win games, right?
Oh, and just a quick thing, actually. Now that I mentioned that with Wally, we didn't talk about that. Hope he's doing a little bit better. He got into a bit of a car accident there,
Bender.
but yeah, he's doing okay. And love to you, Wally, and I'm glad everything's okay. And hopefully things start getting better for you. But on a
Sending you our best, Wally.
On a positive note, let's get back to that tier 1 games there.
So yeah, the Assassins.
We're done talking about that one. They're
Right.
good. They got their.
Move on to the game of the
Yeah.
week. Every game of the week, I think, has been like a 1 or 2 goal game.
It's almost like we know what we're talking about in some.
It's
some
either
aspect.
that or like the cammers are around and all the hype and the media and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
Those-
Expensive
you know,
camera crew. Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. These guys come in with, I don't know. They're scared, nervous. The first few minutes are
Yeah,
usually pretty tentative.
You can see sometimes in the intro videos, you see the sweat pouring before they're even out there. And it's not because it's that hot. It's
They
getting
don't want to make
cooler now,
themselves
so-
look
oh,
like fools.
No.
Rorat's lucky I caught the tail end.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was in the video of the game of the week, but it
He was happy.
made me chuckle.
Give us a couple shout
Yeah,
outs.
threw it to 2-0. That was funny. But yeah, it was a wicked game. It was really
Sad I missed
close.
it.
And like one of the big stories again was another goaltender. I don't know what the hell's going on. Goalie clinics going on that they're going to or something. But Dan Broadbent had to come out and play net. I haven't seen Dan play net in a while, and
I don't think I've ever seen Dan playing that.
he played pretty good. Well,
Yeah.
watch the game of the week.
Well, I did. I recognize that gorgeous face anywhere. I messaged you right away. I think 5 seconds into the video, I was like, "Is that Dan Broadbent in that?"
Out of retirement, fresh off the long
Yeah.
drive competitions. I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen any of his long
Oh,
drive stuff?
I've looked into it.
Dan, you're awesome, buddy. That's some pretty neat stuff. Check it out if you
maybe
haven't
in the
seen
summertime we can do a no offsides, a little golf.
I bet you Dan
collaboration there.
Hits further than you and I put together.
Oh, I don't even think I could
I'll bet you
use a weapon to get that ball going in.
But yeah, so
I'm a
Dan,
hockey player, not a golfer, but
Dan
barely a
played
hockey
good in
player.
that though, considering. You go stats and you look at Heminger, 5 points. I think that since the week I chirped him.
I think
about
Hammer got
passing the
mad
ball,
about that. Yeah.
I think he's gotten more assists every week than goals.
Yeah. It's good.
So you're
He's showing.
moving on up there, Hemi. Back in my good books, buddy.
Making us look stupid on here.
But you want to talk about my bad books?
Uh-oh.
I was so impressed. Jesse Babcock, 3 beautiful goals, and then he's snubbed, no offsides for the interview
Can't do that.
because his life was busy.
Can't do that.
It's not in your contract,
No.
buddy.
So, enough about him then. Let's move on.
So Landry, playing awesome again.
Who, that guy?
Well, I think he was a
Patty?
little bitter at the puck game, but
Yeah.
he came out and the guy just always makes saves.
Oh, but I don't know. I've seen Patty with some great games and some not so great games, but
They're
somehow that smile still ends up popping up once in a while. So
Patty's not so good games are after he's let in a few and
Yeah.
then he's just done.
I think
But
that's every goalie in this league.
things
Honestly,
are just cool and calm. I think that's
Oh, yeah.
a goalie mentality. And I think
couldn't
that's
do
the
it.
difference when you look at guys like Leach that play net, who's not a goalie,
I was just seeing if
but his compete level, whether
Yeah.
he's let in 1
Yeah.
or 10,
Yeah.
is the same.
yeah.
Where a guy like Landry,
Yeah.
who's a goalie, once he's let in that certain amount, that
Yeah.
threshold, he's like,
Oh,
fuck you
just
guys.
laugh.
It blames it on the
Yeah.
defenseman, like a typical goalie. And
I was just having a little chuckle to myself about that. You're saying with that mentality, like I was saying, I don't know if I could do it. I know Keenan always gives me the gears for smashing my stick on the board. I think I'd probably go through a couple of goalie
Are you
sticks.
the
and
new
we need to-
Lanzo?
Oh,
You're the new Lanzo, snapping sticks.
who's that guy? I don't know who that guy
He
is.
was
He's not.
famous for that.
He's not in our league this year, so we don't know who that
If
guy
he's
is.
busy being a good dad,
Oh yeah.
right on.
Shout out to Lanzo. He's
Right
he's
on.
my favorite goalie.
But the kill squad, they had I remember one goal in particular, Paul Karam. He took
Yeah.
it from like just inside the blue line, and I think it was Dan on the Donkeys that pulled
Yeah.
this like pirouette. I don't know what you were doing, Danny, but he walked right
Why don't
by
you give
you.
us a show of what's a pirouette
I
look
don't
like to
even-
you?
I couldn't even tell you.
We'll have to Google it.
He looked like a swamp donkey, like
An actual swamp donkey.
I don't know.
I don't think you want to see one of those.
maybe not, but it was a nice goal.
Yeah.
And it was not something I would have expected to see from Paul in a tier 1, but he took it like I said, almost end to end. Nice goal, Paul.
Well, you know what? It's funny. I was saying like we played with a lot of these guys in both tiers, and I know Scotty's had him on both of his tier 1 and tier 2 teams throughout the years. Whatever. I don't think he's playing this year in tier 2. But it's funny because I played with Paul a bunch of times, and he's a good player. But like when he goes to tier 1, like it's funny because at first I was like, oh, I thought he was a tier 2 player. I didn't realize he played tier 1, and then I played, I think, a game for the kill squad, and I was like,
He's a
tier 1 player.
He's a strong enough skater
Yeah.
to play anywhere.
That
There's no
when you
doubt
see
about
those
it.
little feet go, they freaking go.
They go. I know.
He's quick
For sure.
for a small guy, but
But it was
gives
one.
us small kings something to look forward to.
It was a hell of a
Hope
game
to
of
look
the
up
week,
to.
man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you missed a good one. And
Well, speaking of that, I'm taking over the show this weekend, bud.
Yeah, this weekend, you know me, I never shut up, so I'll still have a voice.
Oh, of course, but
I will be away on Sunday, but just like Tyler does, I'll be probably checking the stats online instantly and watching
you'll
it
probably
as live
be,
as
you'll
I
probably
can.
be calling us, and we'll have to talk to you the whole time.
Right.
Still, I'm sure you'll still be there in some capacity.
Need a play-by-play so that I can do this for you guys.
It's all for you guys.
That's the thing. But yeah, because it's all for them because it's amazing.
It's all for us.
Tell me Sundays aren't the greatest times ever, boys.
I love it. I hated not being there this weekend, but
That's I know.
try
I'll
not to
it
miss
this
another one.
weekend.
We got a wedding, me and the girl, and coming back for that Sunday. I made
Like
sure
life.
she's ready. I don't know how safe the drive home will be, but we'll figure it out. We'll get there.
There's always life that gets in the way, but
Absolutely.
there's nothing that makes me happier walking into the rinks on Sundays, seeing the boys again. Whether
Absolutely.
I'm playing with you or against you,
Yeah.
or even if I'm not playing, watching you fall on your faces and score some nice goals. Like,
I've done one of those two things this year. If you want to figure out which one it is, you can check out our many social media videos there. I'll give you a hint. It's not scoring a goal. Anyways,
let's move on to
Tier
the
one,
tier one stats.
power rankings.
All right, what is it?
Assassins.
The Assassins on top.
Oh, is that how you say it?
They're not-
Assassins on top.
The Assassins on top. To be expected.
6 wins, 1 loss. It's all right.
To be
Solid.
expected.
And now this is something we haven't seen yet in Tier 2. We got that third column going.
Right?
Got some ties. We don't do overtime
Same
unless
teams.
it's the playoffs.
Same teams tied 2 times.
Why do we need overtime? We can't pay for the extra fees. If these damn league fees are so expensive. No,
Someone's
it's
just
more the rank fees.
someone's
Our
just
fees
got
are
to
great,
be a
but
hero
yeah.
and score a winning goal.
Oh yeah,
That's all.
absolutely.
But yeah,
But,
so
we
what do
got
you got?
three-
Assassins 6-1,
three-
second place.
Swamp Donkeys, sorry, before I get into that. 3 wins, 2 losses, but those 2 ties put them ahead of an equal amount of wins with the Kill Squad. So Donkeys get that nod
2 more points.
with those ties, exactly. And that's why we like those ties. It changes the game up a bit. We would have maybe, who knows, if they got those Kill Squad and Donkeys, they'd be tied, right? If they lost those games. And then going into that Kill Squad, 3 wins, 4 losses. But their wins have been dominant.
I think it was
Okay.
earlier too in the season. I don't know.
Well, I think they won one
I'm
last.
never gonna count them out because I bet you they're up there with
Like,
goals for.
What was
as
it,
well.
10-0 or 12-0 game they had? Wasn't it the Donkeys they beat 10-0 too?
Probably one of those
Yeah.
games for Pat though.
Yeah.
Like we
Sorry,
did.
Patty. Amigos. Again, another team like my fellow bunnies. 0 wins, but
They got some ties though.
they got some freaking points.
Like I
More
said,
than we
they're
can
getting
say,
better
buddies.
every week.
Step it up, boys.
I like watching the Amigos play, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like you know what? I'm gonna give it up to the Amigos for the fact that they haven't won a game, and they still walk into the rinks smiling and laughing, and they leave smiling and laughing, whether they've
Yeah.
lost or
Not
tied
to
or
mention
whatever.
the absolute fandom they bring to our league. I don't know if you were there that one game. I think there was about 40 kids there.
Really, eh?
I thought we opened up a hone and
Keep
Sunday
them coming
care,
because
but-
I'm pretty sure I talked to Santa Claus. He's going to be there in the next couple weeks too. So
Well,
if
there you
you've
go.
got kids, this goes for all of you.
better
That
watch
big
out.
jolly guy in red, good buddy of mine, used to play.
I'm just the big jolly guy in pink, but
No, we used to play back in Estonia.
I could be in a. Never mind. We won't go there.
But he's going to be there in a couple weeks, so stay tuned
Estonia.
for that. Oh yeah, me and he went by Chris back then, Chris Kringle.
Chris Kringle.
Yeah,
Kringy.
but we played in Estonia back in the day.
Estonia.
He was fun.
Is that one of the places you played with that Roman guy?
No,
The Italy import? I
No.
remember him. I haven't seen him for a bit.
Roman.
What happened to your buddy Roman?
I think
What's
he
going on with him?
he may have got the COVID protocol in China. Or
I think he
something.
started it, didn't he? I think that was one of the
He went
first
to
known
he went to
cases.
play for that Red Star team,
Oh,
and he never came back.
the Cunlin
the
Red Stars.
Cunlin Red Stars with Brandon Yip.
Yipper. Yeah. Attaboy Yipper. All right. Anyways, next week
Well, no, let's talk about the couple guys that are
Yeah,
on top of the
that's
tier
true.
1 squad.
That's true.
Because we forgot about those guys. And it's my lad that I think I mentioned last week, Scotty Shue.
Scotty Shue.
Right up on top. And that's still not the best that you'll see out of Scotty Shue.
No.
I think there was one year Scotty had 70 points in a season. In like the highest division that we
Is that good?
70? We may have played 12 games at that time or something. But
70.
What-
I don't think I have 70 points in my career.
That was
adding
in
up
the
every,
highest division,
every
I
amount
think.
of hockey I've played since I was.
Shoes
able to wipe
gonna
my own
pick it
ass.
up. That's why I said don't count the kill squad out. Kill
Oh.
squad's freaking strong, man. For sure.
Speaking of
Second place,
Yeah.
Stevie
Stevie
Thomas.
Thomas, another. Fellow
You
guy
just
there,
can't
but
get
yeah.
first no matter what. That was like me last year.
I was like you last year. You got the gears from some of the Puck and Prodigies kids.
Yeah.
They were giving you the gears for only being second, but doing nothing. Oh, I don't think you were gonna beat Hudgen there. No offense there, Bo, but
No. No.
but you did pretty damn well, and
Second's good.
we miss having you out there. That's for sure.
Second's good.
You're second in my heart.
The second best bowman. So who's third in the league?
Hemi,
Hemi.
Hammer,
And
Heminger, whatever you wanna
I
call
think
him.
it's because he's picking up the assists. Finally. He
11 goals, 7 assists.
He had
18
4
points.
in this last game, and he's got 7 in total. So it must be my chirping. Because he always scores.
Yeah, well, that was one thing at the beginning too. I think for Casper for tier 2, I was giving a little heck to the both of them for apples. They're both stepping it up and they're moving their way up the rankings, and that's what happens when you start passing that
You're a complete
ball around.
player when you have complete stats.
Exactly.
And none of this what's the new era stuff with the stats? What do they call that again?
New era with the stats.
Yeah, they like the Moneyball guy.
Moneyball guy.
Do you not remember that movie? Analytics and all.
Do you know
that
how
kind
old
of-
I am?
Yeah, but you know the new stuff. The analytics and stuff, the way they keep
Yeah.
stats now, like expected goals for and against. What's that? Advanced stats.
Yeah.
That's what it's
Yeah,
called.
that was a
Advanced
tricky word to
stats.
find out there, Bob.
No, but it ruined because I hate it. It ruined sports. That shit's stupid. Real stats, real game.
Well, we have no expectations here at No Offsides,
Oh
boys.
yeah.
That's why we go on a week-to-week basis. I don't give a shit what you did in week 1 if we're in week 5. We're talking about week 5. We're talking about week 6, 7, whatever it is.
Well, we're heading into
We
week
don't-
8.
Yeah, exactly. I don't give a shit.
So
what you did in
essentially,
week
we've
1.
got 4 games left. 2 super important ones. Right? That makes
Yeah.
sense. How does
I don't know.
Puck-
Those
how's
last
Puck
2
tied
won't
up?
matter. So
Is my math wrong? No, yeah,
Probably.
because you're 8, 9, and 10. So there's 5 games left. 5 games left.
I don't know if that's right still, but
Yeah, it would have to be.
Yeah,
Game
is it?
8, Game 9, Game 10. Because I'm
Alright.
looking at the Puck series tied 1-1, and I'm like, there can't be 4 games left. Has to be 5 games left.
Well.
Anyway, we're not here for math.
No,
Next
we're not
week,
math guys.
what's the Puck matchup for next week?
Well, surprisingly, it's actually this week it's black versus white, not white versus black. So
Okay.
we'll switch it up a little bit.
Changing benches this week, see how things go. But it's been a pretty
Same
good
rosters
series.
though, same teams.
It all
Even so
depends
far.
on who shows.
Yeah.
That's for Puck.
That's
All
literally
depends
the
who's
next
there.
one.
Yeah. So then there's only
Whoever
2 teams.
whoever gets the win next week, they're up by 1.
There you go.
Simple, easy, boom. Warriors.
You got the Warriors next
Bunnies.
week, don't you? The Bunnies and the Warriors.
Now listen here, Warriors. I'm back. I'm fresh. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna give you some I'll give
Some
you
heck.
something.
It's
I'll
gonna
give you
give
some
you
heck.
heck.
I'm the heck bringer, so you better watch out, Warriors. I'm coming for you, Jurgen. Bunnies.
I'm gonna miss it, but Warriors. You
My
know
bunnies.
what you gotta do.
Let me give you some words of wisdom here. Let's fucking win a game. Excuse my French. I don't know if we're allowed swearing here, but it's no
He said
offsides.
heck, and then he drops f bombs.
We can do whatever we want here,
There's
and no offsides. So let's win a game, boys. Enough of this shit. Enough of the excuses. Enough of the Wally, you're here, 1 week you're not. I understand you've had a rough week, though, Wally. I won't give you shit for that. But I want to win. Let's win, boys.
Get a load of this guy.
All right. Well,
Coach Ty.
On a calmer note, let's Mutts versus Stallions.
Coach Ty.
Oh, and as far as I'm aware, I believe we don't have that 5 o'clock shinny anymore. So
No.
we're going a bit earlier now. So we're going 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. No more 7 o'clock games, boys.
You know, like we
So,
tried to
just
get
trying
some
to remember
shitty
the
for you
times are,
guys.
yeah.
I know we're busy playing games too, but we had that extra hour that
I guess we shouldn't want to play 4 games in every single weekend, right?
it's really tough.
But yeah, we got so then White and Black 2, Warriors Bunnies 3, Mutts and Stallions at 4.
Mutts and Stallions at 4. I bet you that.
Is that the
I'm telling you today.
GOTW?
What's the date? 16th, 17th, 16th.
16.
Mutts versus Stallions in the final. So that's the 4 o'clock or the 5 o'clock?
All I gotta say is you only need to win 2 games, so that's all that matters. Anyways.
He's not lying. Let's go with that as a game.
On a non-biased note, Mutts versus Stallions.
Game of the week.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a win.
I'm running the show for that one. We'll get some good content going. Message me on No Offsides on Instagram, and maybe we'll get you in for an interview if we have time.
Well, that's the other thing
If
too.
we're not
I've
busy,
had a few
too busy
guys
for
send
you,
me
so.
videos and stuff. If any of you guys have any other video
Yeah,
clips, or
exactly,
whatever,
yeah.
like, feel free to send them off.
Casper?
You know, we got all these different channels.
Yeah.
Some of the youth in this league know how to work all the TikToks and we got everything. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on the Durham Inline Facebook page, on the YouTube.
Yeah, we got a YouTube. We're gonna try to get a bit more content going on the
Well, I
YouTube
remember
channel.
last week
I
saying
think
we got
so.
big news. We do have big news coming. We're
Yeah.
just gotta hold it off for another week.
Sorry, fellas.
I got a big thing happening Friday.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're gonna be able to expose our massive news soon. And I think a lot of you guys are gonna be pretty happy with the results of how good things are going here at No Offsides.
I think they'll be pretty stoked for that news. That's all I'll say about that. Anyways,
So that's the tier
Mutts
2.
versus Stallions. That's
Tier 1.
again, like you said.
Assassins and Swamp Donkeys. And the other one is the Amigos and Kill Squad.
But let's get into that swamp. Those swamp bastards, donkeys, whatever you want to call them. First, those assassins. How good was that game when we had them for game of the week?
I told you, those two that
That was awesome.
I think the
That's still one of my favorite games I've seen this
The
year.
Assassins have played the Swamp Donkeys.
Yeah.
For I don't even know how many years now. The seasons
Probably
have
longer than
run
I've been
into
alive.
so many. You know, some of us have been doing this for over 10 years now. So I kind of
Years.
forget about season after season sometimes, but Swamp Donkeys and Assassins have been around for a long
I was
time.
still in high school 10
At
years
least
ago.
the leadership of the Swamp Donkeys and the Assassins have been
Yeah.
around for a long time, and they always put together a good game, like always.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's always a fun game to watch.
Yeah, we'll try to make sure at least one of us can stick around for those last 2
I
games.
could
there.
even
It's not-
almost call you right now Swamp Donkey Assassins Tier 1 final. I'd almost just on November 16th.
Remember, this is being recorded. They're going to be able to go back to this. So
I know, and I get
if
a
you
lot
want
of
to prove
flack.
us wrong,
I get a lot of
Yeah.
flack from you guys, but in all reality,
Prove
all
us
you gotta
wrong.
do is prove me wrong.
prove us wrong.
You know,
2
I got
games to
proved
win.
wrong a few times last week with some scores. I was pretty close on some. Goaltending issues not being there,
Yeah,
Change that up,
We can't
but-
count that. That doesn't count.
you know.
We
always,
can't control the goalies.
always trust the yellow lid. I know what I'm talking about.
Hey, amigos.
And
Kill
Kill
Squad.
Squad. They'll round out the week next week. Hopefully the Amigos can pull out their first W.
I'm rooting for them. I am.
You know I am. I think I'm gonna start jumping on their bench. Start doing what
They
Coach
got
Bombay does.
the kill squad. They've been the score squad lately. So if
Do you got the numbers? Actually,
I
for,
absolutely have the numbers.
Kill
We got
Squad. I keep saying how offensive they are. I bet
48 goals.
48 goals in 7 games.
And if again we compare that to the Amigos are facing 18 to 48, that's a pretty significant difference. And actually,
bet you Loken's got half of them.
Assassins, you're being beat by 2 goals there against the Kill Squad for top goals in Tier 1. So
Assassin's got 40.
46.
46.
Yeah, that 2 less than 48.
So what about the Donkeys? I'll say they're in between Kill Squad and the Amigos for sure. Probably 30-ish.
28. Pretty damn close if you're asking me, but
Yellow nose, boys, yellow nose.
I think Amigos, I'm gonna give a direct, not necessarily a shout out, almost like a challenge to my buddy Chris Ahone. Show up for a game, and I want you to pot one for me.
Chrissy's
And
kid.
maybe just maybe I'll pot one this week against the Warriors, and I don't say that lightly because I gotta make that happen. I'm a man of my word. So
If you score, like,
if I can bury one at home, you gotta bury one for me. That's how about that?
you gotta get to those places. Told ya. When you're not the ball carrier, don't even look at the ball. Just go to the net.
Just go to the net.
Especially when you got a couple heavy shots like Michelle back there.
Michelle, our
But-
local that 365 guy or whatever you want to call him.
Michelle's done some work
No
for me.
sponsors. Yeah.
Michelle's done some work for me, but yeah,
I'm sure he's
boys,
done work along.
that's been what are we at? Week
Well, you
we
said-
missed a
didn't we
week,
just say
so
it?
I think this is our third episode, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Our third episode. So
We had 2 and 3 kind of mixed together, but well, this is technically on
Technically,
paper 3.
yeah.
This is our third outing together, and
we hope you enjoyed
warming up.
it again.
Yeah.
As
And,
I said, there's news coming. Have to hold off. Big meeting on Friday. You
Pretty
know,
pretty important stuff there.
it's good. to
Bowman.
be- So thanks for tuning in, lads.
Yeah.
Love to hear the feedback from you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So keep it coming. And I'll miss you this Sunday. I'll talk to you probably next week. Ciao for now, boys.
Which